So was it still the MBCT curriculum that it is now, but it was called Attentional Control?
Yes.
I didn't know that. So when did it change to MBCT?
When the book was published. So
Okay.
mindfulness-based cognitive therapy was the name given to the book. Um, and that was a conversation we had with Guildford about what to call this trial, attention control training trial. And that decision was taken, I think, before the book was, in a way, the book was very early. And I sensed that actually the first paper that came out was then on MBCT. Um, and it was called MBCT by then. But it was really as part of the writing it up and how to communicate this to the world, mindfulness based, because that we were taught by John Kabat-Zinn how to do this work. The mindfulness cognitive therapy, because we were each of three of us were cognitive therapists, and the MBCT was an attempt to combine the principles of cognitive therapy and the underlying theory about how it worked within a mindfulness context. So that's how it came to be known as MBCT, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy.
Yeah. And been hugely successful over the last 30 years. Um,
It seems to have been.
yeah.
We thought it would be a very minority activity because in the book, and even in the first edition, we said you need to be qualified practitioner in cognitive therapy, you need to understand cognitive therapy, and you need to understand how to practice mindfulness, including your own personal practice. We thought that because the number of people who practice cognitive therapy and mindfulness would be small, it would occupy an important but relatively small corner of psychotherapy.
Mm.
But when the book came out, uh, it it seemed to hit the mood of the time, and it was the only way in which you could prevent recurrence that was available. So there were lots of therapies, cognitive therapy being the main one that had evidence that it reduced depression when you did it when you were depressed. We knew that it actually prevented relapse, but that was like an extra finding. The main thing about cognitive therapy was it helps with depression as well as antidepressant medication. Um, but we wanted to present something. We wanted to present something which could be done with people who were vulnerable when they weren't actually depressed. We wanted to prevent another new episode of depression. And that was something pretty new in the field. And I think in retrospect, that's why it caught people's imagination.
Yeah.